welcome to this week's Angler News KZN Fishing Report. It is Vanessa Green, Ray Thompson. We are back with a bit of a big sea, Ray.
Yeah, it was huge. It was forecast to be big.
It was forecast. We had big swells and things, but anglers still went out. Anglers got fish.
Definitely.
And you were one of them. And after last week, now we left off last week with Ray's green, yellow, brown fish that size that he was going to win the competition with. I have done some homework. And my homework, tell me, am I right? Was it an ETB?
Yes, it was.
I knew it. Guys, eel tail barbel.
Yeah, especially at night time,
Now,
that's the one fish you were going to catch.
Yeah, that's what I figured. What are you going to catch? What is green, yellow, brownish in color that's going to win you a comp? Did it win you a comp?
Definitely did.
Really?
Yeah, no, I did pretty well. I
Yeah?
got up in the top there.
Like how far top? Like top?
Right there.
Nice.
That's all that counts. On the first day and the second day, by the way.
Whoa.
Well, the second day was a big cob, so I was lucky with the big cob. Fishing for the eel tail.
Well done. You called it.
Yeah.
What should I say? This gives you 2 points. You should be like
2
about
points.
9 points ahead now or something like that.
Yeah, no, it was a good cob.
Good, accurate report, Ray, on last week's, what we predicted.
Big sea.
It was, the seas were huge. I covered 2 events last week, and wherever I was, the sea was huge. However, I did bump into anglers, and the anglers did get a fair amount of fish. Now we're going to get into all of it. But before we do, guys, special thanks to our sponsors, the Kingfisher. They're the ones responsible for bringing us our show. So as always, support those that support you. And in this case, the Kingfisher. Now, fishing-wise, Transkei has been on fire.
There was quite a few fish, obviously because they had deep water points, they could get away from the big swell, so they put a couple of sharks and skates and that down there in the Transkei. And carp in those big bays as usual.
Yes, absolutely. And I got some images of some bronze bream as well.
Plenty.
Okay.
Plenty. They've turned on.
Yeah,
That's all the
absolutely. So we got some good fishing down the Transkei if you are planning that. Some guys told me that they saw some sardines. I don't want to get ahead of myself, Ray. It is only the middle of April. Would they have seen sardines though? I mean, I don't want to be one of that media that starts talking about the sardine run in April, but I don't know. Are these rumors? Yeah, okay. Enough said.
Someone's doing something up there.
Enough said. All right, so we're not going to talk about anything with the sardines until about another month.
Yeah, we'll
right?
talk about that.
But now, South Coast.
South Coast.
Guys, before we start off with the South Coast report, we all know it's been circulating the social media, Ray, the devastation that happened with the rain down at the Margate area. Guys, the community got together and they've been pulling the weight and they will recover. They always do. But they have been bombarded again with another severe storm. There's so much debris in the water. Adam tells me there's a lot of slops lying around. I mean, what is it about Margate and slops floating out all the time?
Yeah, I think a lot of them got washed out of the shops and that. But, like I said, this weekend that just went past, there was fish just before the rain came. Lucky I got out at about 1 o'clock.
Now, you were fishing that area, so tell us all about it, Ray.
There were quite a few fish. There were bream, there were eel tail, barbel, there were lanterns, there were carp, quite a few carp caught, and a lot of cricket sharks. Around those hound sharks, if I can call it that.
Cricket shark. It's officially called a cricket shark.
Yeah, it's a cricket shark. Small fish about that long, doesn't weigh much, but it gives you a full-on life tackle.
Yeah.
I lost 2 of them. Lovely fish to catch in a big sea like we had.
Yes.
But yeah, the sea was ginormous down there on Saturday and Sunday.
And you targeted something that big?
That's all I wanted.
And it worked out for you?
Yeah, it did. I lost a big one, a nice one. But yeah the eel tail barbel were there.
Yes.
Which was,
well done, buddy. Well done.
Was good for me. But yeah, the guys caught fish. Obviously, I would suggest you stay away from Margate, that whole South Coast for the next week, 2 weeks actually.
Yeah, I'd say
let them sort out all the infrastructure, sort out the roads. Stay away
it's
from
going to be a little while before we start seeing some good action again. But when we do, when the water clears up, predict we should get some edibles coming through around this time now. So that's been the Margate area. Obviously, if you want to see some catches, it's on the side of the screen here. Moving down to Scottsboro, Pennington, and Rocky. Oh, wait, before we leave the Margate area completely, you were telling me about some carp down at Port Shepstone.
Yeah, there's been some carp there. My mates are telling me about the carp that they're catching down there.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't really rush all the way down that side from now onwards. There's a lot of fish locally, a lot of cob locally, a lot of cob on the north coast.
Yes.
So I'm saying we're going to stay north this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Calling this already. It's
calling
too
it
early
already.
for that in the show, but
Yeah,
we
I
will
know.
get there.
But yeah, there's been cob down at Shepstone,
Yeah.
Aberdeen, that whole area there. The cob are around. This
Good.
is cob time now.
Really?
This is cob time
Fantastic.
now.
I love
Cob
it.
and Brunswick.
Love it, love it, love it.
Lovely weather, water's brown.
Mm.
Cob, Brunswick. Carry on.
Okay, carried on to Scott Potter, Pennington, and Rocky Bay. I didn't get much reports.
Big C.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable over there this weekend. However, moving down to your area, Warner Beach, that Ilovo stretch, Kingsborough, Gary told me 1 or 2, but when he says 1 or 2, like literally 1 or 2, nothing consistent.
big. Yeah.
Do you reckon there has been some pompano?
Pompanos, definitely. I saw some come out. Even down there at Chili Beach, there was some pompano.
How's the sizes? Okay.
Slightly bigger than my eeltail ball, but they were there. I saw them.
What's that, about a 2 kilo, averaging about a kilo and a half,
1
2
and a
kilos?
half.
Yeah.
2 kilos, yeah.
All right, so that's Warner Beach. Now moving down to Durban. Well, before we really get into here, I covered an event at the Cuttings Beach this weekend. And before I spoke to the kids about fishing for the future, I saw some anglers catching some fish. There were more of that rock fish species along the
Definitely.
way. Couple stone bream.
Stone bream,
There were
yeah.
1 or 2 snapper salmon that the guys got.
Good.
And yeah, the odd grunter. Well, there was 1 grunter, but you know, nothing crazy. But the sea was huge.
Huge. Yeah,
Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I didn't even bother putting a rod out. But I obviously had other events to cover, and one of those events was here in Durban. The Durban Skateboard Interclub was on. Guys, there has been a fair amount of fish. Lots of fish. Lost rate, lots of fish. Lots of those sharks.
Sharks.
Sharks were ridiculous. The sea is as big as they looked. The guy said it wasn't too bad out when they went
Out
out.
in the deep.
The swells were big. You'd see yourself like, you know, the ground
the
thing
swell
going
period
5
was big,
meters,
up and
then
down,
yeah,
up
up
and
and down. But the guys got some fish, which
Yeah.
was cool to see. Okay, so Ray, speaking about the weather right now,
Okay.
I mean, one of the questions I've been asked quite a bit about, in fact, this week again, was explaining barometric pressure. What does that do? What is a good time to read it? I mean, we know the levels are high, the levels are low. We don't know, like, you know, what numbers to check it out. We've seen these numbers on Wind Guru and all these other apps.
Yes.
When do we want to get out there? And why does the barometric pressure affect our, well, affect whether the fish are going to feed or
Okay.
not?
Very simple.
Hmm.
Okay, so obviously your high pressure is going to be 1,024.
Right.
Your low pressure, for instance, this weekend. So at the moment, today, Wednesday, right now, it's 1,024.
Yeah.
On Friday, it's going to be 1,019. So the barometer is going to drop down to 1,019.
Yes.
It's then going to go up again for Saturday, Sunday,
Uh-huh.
and then go back down again for Monday, which will
Right.
hit 1,019 again. So basically, what this tells you is that you've got a high pressure today, northeasterly is blowing, and by Friday, the westerly is going to come through. Saturday, you're going to have northeasties again. By Monday, the southwest is going to come. That's pretty much what that whole graph is telling you.
Yes.
So how it works is your high pressure, your oxygen level in the water is a lot bigger. Okay, so that's on a high pressure. That's 1,024. Your air molecules have increased. A low pressure, because it's more dense, it condenses the oxygen level in the water. So now you as a fish, on a high pressure, you can run around, do what you want. You've got lots of oxygen in your body. So you're a hunter. Okay, that's the easiest way to explain it to you.
Okay.
When that low pressure comes, the fish go, oh, there's no oxygen, I can't run around. They become very lethargic because there's no oxygen in the water. So they change from being a hunter where they floorboard you to being a opportunistic feeder. They'll come, they'll sit on your bait, they'll mouth it, do I like it, don't I like it, and your bite will be a lot slower. That's pretty much why we like to fish on a high drop, because that turns the fish on. So 8 hours before that low pressure comes,
So
that's when the fish realize, hey guys, I've got to eat, I must feed, there's a cold front coming, there's bad weather coming, I've got to survive for the next 48 hours.
Perfect. I love it.
That's it.
Brilliant
That's
explanation.
my theory anyway.
I just wanted to
So
find
it's
out
only a theory.
while you were, well, brilliant theory, Ray. would it work as the pressure's rising again though? I mean, I know
Yeah,
we go and fish when it's dropping,
Well,
but
that's
would it work
basically-
when it's rising
Yeah,
as well?
what happens is, as the oxygen increases, they start, instead of being very lethargic, they start to walk around, swim
Yeah.
around, and then they become hunters as it hits the peak of it, dropping
Yes.
again.
So if our peak is at 1024 and our low is at 1019, ideally when I see that thing sitting at 1021,
Yeah,
that
around
would
there.
be the right time then for me to go.
More, it's more because it could have a very stable period and a very small low that comes through.
Yeah.
It's the 8 hours, 6 hours before that low is where you want to fish, and maybe 2 hours into that west.
Okay.
So that's that time period that they feed. So
Fantastic.
it's more time period, more than the barometer dropping that.
Okay.
Because they realize that something's happening. So
Yeah.
they're very well tuned to nature, these flatfish of
Well, I
ours.
think you're onto a very good theory.
Well,
I'm sure it makes perfect sense. Well, thank you
that's
for
only one
explaining
little
that.
one. Okay.
Right, now back to the fishing. So off Durban Rock and Surf Ray has been a bit quiet. I didn't get too many reports. Prior to the storm, the guys were getting a couple non-heads, and a couple stumpies, but nothing crazy. The harbor is still fishing well. There's been a bit of grunter. Well, there's always grunter in the harbor.
Always.
But this week, I didn't hear of any big ones. I heard of a lot of grunter, but not those.
The bigger ones.
Yeah. How's that drop shot? Any heard of anything with the drop shot?
Very little. Very little.
Okay.
Because of all the rain that we've had and
Yeah.
the rivers are brown. Not ideal, but like I say,
It's
the
coming.
weather's coming right now. From today onwards, I promise you.
All right, so that is Durban. Well, we spoke about offshore Rock and Surf Harbor. Now moving up to the north coast, well, we've got Martin who's come through again with another good report of what the conditions are like. So thank you, Martin.
Good day, National Anglers. Yeah, it is the 17th of April. Welcome back to Salt Rock, Sheffield. Water's actually not looking bad. A bit of a northeaster pushing through. But yeah, so this is your week's sea conditions. From the side, Kocha over and out.
And now, Ray, up on the north coast, you are calling north coast for this week.
Yeah, definitely. Together, but you want to catch cobber?
Together.
mate? Yeah,
Well, let's start
Friday.
off. Did you hear of anything in Bolito? I heard Tonga Mouth had a couple cop.
Yeah, I know.
Apart from Tonga Mouth, Bolito, I didn't hear too much of what's going on. Bolito, Salt Rock, all those areas. The sea was huge,
No,
massive. So now on to Tugela. You said that's the place.
that's where I think we're going to get a lot of fish this week coming up. But
Okay.
I haven't heard too much about the Tegela area. There must be cob there. They
Yeah.
always. It's a home of the small cob and that. So
Alright.
those Tegela flats and that. Yeah, I'd say Tegela is a place to go. That, or if you want to go get a flatfish at, let's say, Sudwana.
Well,
Sudwana will be good.
Sodwana
I
would be
wish I
good.
was there this weekend. Oh, lovely conditions
Sodwana
coming.
is always good.
Yeah, I know.
Sodwana is always good.
Conditions that
Fishing
are
or
looking
not.
good.
Yeah, what were the conditions?
Mm.
Absolutely a perk. So guys, that's our saltwater report. Now moving on to the freshwater side of things. Ray, it seems to be firing on all facets.
Yeah.
So we've got shots on Stillwater and on the river end. The full report, guys, listen to our podcast where Jan will tell you exactly what's going on, even with the rainfall. We are actually, the whole country has been blessed with rainfall right now with a predicted drought, so that's been quite good. Bass wise, Ray, now's the time.
There's been quite a few bass caught. Midmar, Albert Falls, that area. Albert Falls, they had a comp there the other day and quite a few bass caught, but not giants.
Okay.
Those 2
Yeah.
3 kilo ones, there were no 5 kilo ones or anything like that to talk about, but there were a lot of fish caught.
Yeah, I think after last week's 5 kilo
Yeah.
one, it'll be a while before we talk
No, I
about
think
5
so
kilo
too.
ones.
Yeah, there were quite a few bass caught. Most of them were caught in the deeper structure. I was speaking to a mate of mine. Most of them were
Okay.
caught in the deep. But most of the actual water levels in all our dams have come up because of all the rain and that
Yes,
as well.
so the water levels are looking quite good.
So those deeper water bass will move into shallows again to start feeding on the smaller
Right. So
bluegill and stuff like that.
one of the tips I have is that if I'm fishing for bass at this time of the year, start slowing down my retrieve.
Yes, slow down, but
Yeah?
and also go a little bit bigger.
Hmm?
The fish want a bigger bait.
Right, I like it. Big bait, big fish.
No, especially since the water levels have come up.
Yeah.
Once that water level goes back down out of the vegetation and that, you'll start going slower and
Yes.
smaller.
Okay.
and drop shot and stuff like that will start working well.
Good.
At the moment, because they filled up so much,
Yes.
definitely go a little bit bigger, fish for that bigger fish.
All right.
We'll be cruising around, feeding up before the winter season.
Yeah, fantastic. And now moving on to the carp side of fishing, there has been some bites on carp.
There has been, yes, Midlaw, Albert
Midlaw,
Falls
100%,
again,
yeah.
and the Starkies, there were a few carp caught on the weekend as well. There were guys up there
Okay.
around fishing. They got a few carp. Also, again, it's all pup koi. Shot
Yeah.
those monster carp,
specimen stuff,
lot
yeah.
of specimen stuff. But a lot of those 2 kilos, 1.5 kilo carp. Keep
Okay.
you busy the whole day.
Well, nothing wrong with
Very
that.
constant bite. Very
Mike been
constant
busy.
bite.
All right, so that is our fishing report. Now for the fishing prediction, you've predicted north,
Definitely.
yeah. And we predicted carp,
Yes.
and you said bronze breamer on the bite if you're in
On the-
Transkei.
Oh, Transkei and the South Coast. The
Yeah, but I mean the
Pennington,
conditions
Scotties,
are-
they've
those
started.
areas,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
they started there.
Yeah,
They-
of course. All right, what are the predictions? Which day? Friday, Saturday,
Friday.
Sunday?
Friday and Monday.
Because we're talking about the pressure.
Yeah, Friday
The
and
drops are the
Monday.
highest.
Definitely. It's been literally 3 days, 4 days today of northeasterly, and you can see the sea has got a lot of colour here in Durban.
Yeah.
By Friday, this whole beachfront, if you want to catch a big flat fish, has to happen here on Friday.
Yeah.
But I see they're pumping a lot of sand here. But Friday, beachfront, you want to catch grey sharks, you want to get a couple of flatfish, definitely Durban beachfront.
All
And
right.
of course, together for the cob, if you want to catch cob, Tiola, that area,
Yeah.
definitely. And for Durnford area, you must
Oh,
get
yes.
cob there.
Have to.
The sea will be
100%.
flat.
Yes.
You will get cob up that side. You might even get a diamond or two up in
Fingers
Umtenzini
crossed.
area.
Yeah.
Well, it's been enough northeasterly, but the water temperature still has to drop for them.
Yes.
South Coast. I'm fishing on Friday down the South Coast. For
Really?
cob- yeah, for cob and bream. I want something for the table. I'm getting a bit hungry now.
Where you fishing? Wanna Beach?
Nah, I'll fish Maharatek Hill area.
Oh, okay. Well, looks like we're fishing Heart Attack Hill.
But I reckon by Saturday, maybe I'll go through for a honeycomb as well. I think as it gets dark, I'll go and fish for a honeycomb down my side.
One thing I can say is that's exactly where I will be as well, because we've got the SA Soft Casting Comps at Amanzimtoti this weekend.
Oh, la la.
Pardon my mistake last week. I thought it was last weekend. With so many comps going on in April, I got confused with that one. And thank goodness, because I had to cover 3 events last weekend. I was trying to think how I'm going to squeeze that in. So yeah, I will see you down at Amanzimtoti this weekend.
Definitely.
Guys, until next week, I am Vanessa Graham. This is Ray Thompson. We predict the North Coast is fishing well, but we are
We're
fishing south. Yeah, of course.
No petrol money. That's why.
It's,
No petrol
it's
money.
the 3rd week of the month. You know, we were trying to just stay close.
Fish local.
Guys, we'll be back next week with the latest fishing report and exactly what's going on. And next week, Ray, it's the build-up of the Durban
Durban
Skateboard
Ski Boat.
Festival.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about that as well.
Yeah.
Of course. So, all right.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
2 weeks together again.
Good.
Lovely.